talking about preparing for the phone screens, preparing for the virtual interview, and also for the in-person interview. By preparing for the initial phone screen, usually by phone or sometimes a virtual meeting, you want to make sure that you have the contact information, the telephone number and email of the person that you're scheduled to meet with in case of an emergency, any kind of tech issues, or for any reason you need to reach that person before the meeting is to happen. Research that interviewer, that phone screen individual to the best of your ability on LinkedIn and or any company website. Make sure you've prepared for the question about your compensation range. Make sure you've prepared with your resume in front of you and paper and pens to take notes. And be ready with strong questions to ask about the position and about the company. And be sure to express gratitude right in the beginning about taking their time to meet with you. We know they're very busy and you're extremely interested in the role, and just expressing gratitude. And then at the end of that phone screen, to ask, what are your thoughts about my qualifications for this position? And what do you see as the next steps? And then first impressions of the virtual interview, very important to prepare for. So prior to this video call, you really want to make sure that your devices are charged. You want to download that video tool like Teams or Zoom and practice it before that meeting, a day before, a week before, but definitely before the time that interview is to begin. Log on early. Sometimes those video platforms are going to want to update prior to your calls. You don't want to take any time during that video interview for your device to be uploading and then you're running late for the meeting. Test your computer's sound and camera. Again, not just 15 minutes before or 20 minutes before, but the day before, the morning of, and make sure any of those issues are worked out ahead of time. And express gratitude in the beginning of the interview. Use direct eye contact. Get comfortable with looking in the camera, not necessarily where the interviewer's face is on the screen. So if they're to share screen and show you something they've pulled up on the screen, now their picture is going to go to the left or the right of your screen or down below. And so your eye contact should ideally still be towards the camera, so you're looking like you're facing the individual as opposed to your eyes being somewhere else on the screen, which could be a little bit awkward if you don't really look like you're looking at the individual. And then just not folding your arms, just keeping your body language just open. Make sure that camera is really face to face, as if you're sitting across the table from them. Avoid any heavy ceiling, lights above you, beds, or any kind of clutter in the background. You just want to make sure that you just look like you are face to face with the camera with nothing in the background that can be distracting. And then the in-person interviews, again, we're starting with expressing gratitude. We want that strong handshake. Direct eye contact as much as possible. I know there's a neurodiverse population of individuals that is not comfortable for, and in those cases, that's a different situation. But to the ability that you can make that direct eye contact, that would be important. Again, body language, arms open, not your arms crossed. Mirror the interviewer's body language. If they're leaning forward, if they're leaning back, anything that could just be more comfortable for both of you as you're sort of easing into this conversation of the in-person interview. Shoulders and body position should be facing the other person, not too far angled in one direction or another direction, but really across the table from one another. And if you're not sure about the attire for the interview, because this question comes up often, it is completely appropriate to call the HR department or whoever has scheduled that interview for you and just make sure that they share with you the attire for an in-person interview.